Okay, Greg, tell the story of what happened.
Basically, I'd gone to lunch last Wednesday with two of my friends, and, you know, people have seen in the video the first couple of items on the menu are the President and Barbara Bush pizzas. So that's a little sickening to see. And then the whole shrine on the back wall, as is in so many restaurants around Houston when the Bushes frequent a place. So at the end of my meal, well, I guess halfway through the meal, the Secret Service agent, one of them, came into the establishment and was scoping it out. It was very obvious what was going on. I told my friends that, hey, obviously, Poppy Bush is going to be coming in here in a moment. Sure enough, you know, several minutes later, the rest of them pull up. We were pretty much done eating. I walk out to my car to get my camera. I come back in, and actually, I was right next to him at one point. I mean, I had to stand directly behind him as he was in the doorway, because I guess probably shaking somebody's hand there and whatnot. And I actually waited for him to get a good ways away from me in the restaurant. It was him alone. Barbara wasn't there. There were no females. There were no children in the place. It was rather empty at that point. It was a late lunch. And when he got a good distance away, I started recording, and that's when you hear the profanities that just came out. It wasn't planned like that by any means. And the entire time I was doing that, I was making my way towards the door. So I waited for him to get away. I worked, you know, my way towards the door and all the way out the door.
But you also forcefully did say he was a mass murderer for Iraq and other wars.
Yeah, I called him a Zionist, murderous, yeah, and then the expletive.
Why Zionist? I mean, I know Israel supported those wars, but if you really study the Bushes at Skull and Bones and his father Prescott, they're also Nazis. But I mean, I guess he does support Israel, so he is a Zionist.
Well, I wish I could articulate it a little bit better. I'm recently learning a lot more about this. You know, I woke up to 9/11 at the end of 2005, and at this point in my research and from what I see through all these facts, it seems to me that it is the Israel Mossad and these Zionists that are pretty much behind most every single event. It was through the Rothschilds that started World War I, World War II, the wars going on now. You know, they made Switzerland a neutral place so that they could fund it from both sides. I mean, the list goes on. They're the ones behind the first bank of this nation, the second bank, now the Federal Reserve. I see their hands tied to everything. So I know that you mentioned things about the CFR and Bilderberg, all this, but when I actually look at the top of these things and who's pulling those strings, that I do now see the head of the beast. And I see it as Zionist. So that's why I see that.
Okay, well, now we understand why. Stay there. Let's come back and play some audio. The video's up on your YouTube channels. We've got links to it up on Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com, but it's YouTube.com/user/live music, where you can see all the videos in detail. We're going to come back, play part of the confrontation with the Secret Service when they came to your house, and then we'll get into you not wanting to commit suicide. I think it's important to get that on record.